Harry and Meghan's £100 million deal with Netflix scrapped in a huge loss of revenue for the couple.
This is the end of Harry and Meghan, and Harry is definitely feeling this in a very hard way, because this money is going to end. It has stopped. It is not going to be this happily ever after.
She has finally realized everything's gone wrong, and she can't spin it. From what I'm told, Meghan Markle has been going through multiple stages of grief over the Netflix deal.
Okay, let's talk. First Spotify, now Netflix. Can you even believe this? Meghan Markle thought Netflix was her forever home, like red carpets, endless glam, global domination, the whole shebang. But nope, it was a fling, darling. A very expensive $100 million fling. And now it's done. Poof, gone. And Meghan? She's out here scrambling, literally begging for relevance in an industry that's moved on like an ex with a glow-up.
Deal started with denial. It moved to desperation to change the situation with Ted Sarandos. Then it was anger, and we know what she gets like when she's mad.
And let's not forget, Meghan strutted into this whole Netflix deal with that smug, I've made it energy, like she had Hollywood eating out of the palm of her hand. But guess what? That dream, up in smoke. Netflix, the streamer that used to practically worship the Sussexes, just ghosted them. No big press statements, no messy drama, but make no mistake, Netflix pulled the plug, period.
To lose one major Hollywood streaming deal is bad enough, but for two to go, well, there's no return. Obviously, that's not how she's going to play things publicly and even amongst her private inner circle.
Here's the gag. Netflix thought they were getting royalty, like queen-level storytelling, prestige, glam, influence. But what did they get instead? Reality TV chaos. When Meghan first showed up to those big exec meetings, she was selling them a fantasy. Oprah meets Shonda Rhimes energy. And they bought it. Hook, line, sinker.
Eddie, Meghan is trying to now secure a new streaming deal for much less money with the far less successful Paramount Plus. And of course, to secure any deal like that, it means she'll have to pimp out so much more.
She promised them the full Hollywood takeover, global brand, edgy docs, world-changing content, and that royal sparkle. She positioned herself like the next media queen, and Netflix was giddy. Ted Sarandos probably thought he just signed the biggest cultural icon of the decade. Ha.
But look, this deal axing has now been confirmed by the mainstream media. Today in The Sun.
So what did Netflix actually get for that jaw-dropping check? One docuseries, Harry and Meghan. Yes, it made noise for like a hot minute, and then silence. A Polo documentary no one asked for. And Harry's Invictus series. Cute, but let's be honest, it wasn't keeping people subscribed. There was no empire, no momentum, just crickets.
This was actually the first to reveal that Meghan was going to do a Keeping Up with the Kardashians style documentary, which did come, didn't it, with Harry and Meghan?
Netflix waited, y'all. They gave Meghan time. They expected magic. She promised bold ideas, cultural impact. And what did they get instead? Mood boards, endless creative conversations, delays, drama. The last straw, that Polo series, it flopped harder than a burned souffle. Netflix realized this wasn't royalty. This was dead weight.
Quotes are spot on, and it shows you that Netflix has been thinking for a long time about this, but wanting to try and exit artfully. So Moody writes, Prince Harry and wife Meghan's £100 million deal with Netflix has been scrapped.
And Netflix? They don't do dead weight. Trust me. The vibe shifted. The whispers started. PR smiles up front, but behind the scenes? They were working on an exit strategy, and they weren't about to make it cute.
£100 million deal with Netflix has been scrapped. The streamer will not renew their contract when it expires in September.
They didn't break up with drama. No shade thrown, they just disappeared. Smooth, quiet, calculated. Why? Because they already milked the Sussexes for every headline possible. Meghan's juice? Officially squeezed.
Sussexes and Netflix have mutually decided not to make an official announcement, but streaming execs have quietly agreed to part ways. It comes after Harry's vanity project.
The royal docuseries gave them the clout they wanted. Trending hashtags, juicy tabloid talk, all the clicks. But lightning, it didn't strike twice. And without real creative follow-up, Netflix saw the writing on the wall.
It's also understood that bosses were mildly infuriated by Meghan making her as-ever brand a priority.
Behind closed doors, Netflix had been done for months. All that creative evolution talk from Meghan's team? PR spin. The truth, Netflix was over it, and they were already flirting with new talent. The final dagger?
More shows will be made. Netflix feel they've got all they can from the couple. Netflix were clever in that they got a hell of a lot of viewers for the first documentary series and knew realistically it would prove the zen.
While Meghan was out there building her lifestyle brand and teasing archetype spin-offs, Netflix swerved. Guess who they inked a fresh deal with? King Charles. Yep, her father-in-law. Let that marinate.
They're not unhappy. With how things turned out, they got those initial hits and produced one of the most talked about shows of all time.
And if that wasn't enough, they pulled Idris Elba into a sleek global doc project. Translation, thanks Meghan, but we've upgraded our royal content with actual relevance. Ouch doesn't even begin to cover it.
Content got weaker from there on, but frankly, for £20 million a year, anything was better than nothing. There's no animosity from either side.
Netflix wanted out, quietly, no lawsuits, no drama, just a clean cut and moving on to bigger fish. For Meghan, this wasn't just a breakup. This was Hollywood saying, your time's up, babe.
Execs are well aware Meghan's priority now is her own brand, and they won't play second fiddle to that. Publicly, there will not be a statement, and of course if things change dramatically, they'll be open to a one-off project down the line.
And how did Meghan handle the split? Oh, it was a full-blown Emmy-worthy meltdown. First, denial. She told friends everything was fine, pretended the deal was solid, gave interviews like season 2 of Harry and Meghan was around the corner. Spoiler alert, it wasn't.
Part of the reason why I'm convinced Netflix is now desperate to follow Spotify out the door and sever their formal $100 million deal with the Sussexes when it expires in 2025, a senior Hollywood source told me, and by the way, this Hollywood source knew all about Meghan and Harry's work with both Spotify and Netflix. This is what they told me. Netflix wants out too. They are envious the Spotify exit could come so quickly.
Then came the desperation. She reportedly called Ted Sarandos directly, multiple times, even pitched new ideas, for less money, trying to keep the dream alive. But Netflix? Silent. So she went into rage mode. People close to her say she's been livid, like Buckingham Palace-style meltdown vibes. And then, depression. And this one hits different, because this isn't just about money. Netflix was her credibility, her golden ticket. Without it, the media mogul dream, gone like a stale croissant. The truth hurts, but it was inevitable. Netflix was tired of waiting. The board wanted results. Meghan just didn't deliver. And now, Meghan's knocked on Paramount Plus's door, practically slashing her prices just to get anyone, to bite. But Hollywood, they smell blood. The sharks are circling, and she's in no position to negotiate. And if Netflix said no, let's be real. What are the chances Paramount says yes? She's offering everything short of the Queen's secret Christmas pudding recipe to Paramount, y'all. Meghan's people are pitching like their lives depend on it. Lifestyle shows, documentaries, tell-alls, self-care fluff. But Paramount, honey, they're not Netflix. They don't have money to burn or patience for high-maintenance divas on a downward spiral. They see what Hollywood sees, a sliding star grasping at straws. And let's not kid ourselves. If Meghan wants back in, she'll have to spill everything. Personal stories, painful truths, cry-on-cue moments, that fake privacy era, dead. This is pimp your pain or perish territory now. And what makes it even messier? Hollywood knows she's vulnerable. Producers are lurking like vultures, circling that Markle brand, ready to snatch it up. But only at rock-bottom prices. From Netflix queen to clearance bin casualty. The fall? Devastating. Remember when Ted Sarandos called Meghan a magnet of desirability? How the mighty have fallen. Now insiders are calling her a toxic money loser, a literal albatross. That's not PR friendly, that's career suicide. The shiny Meghan brand? You know, the one that once made people binge watch Suits reruns like it was prestige TV? It's officially DOA, and Hollywood execs? They're done pretending. They're not investing in fantasies anymore, especially not Meghan's. This is a full-blown reputation collapse. Once she was aspirational. Now she's radioactive. And with every failed pitch and ghosted email, that truth gets louder. She wasn't the next Oprah. She wasn't even the next Goop. She was a $100 million mistake. And Netflix isn't the only one walking away. The press is eating her alive. One brutal headline nailed it: universal unlikability. Can you imagine? Your PR team's burning through lavender candles and oat milk just to stop that headline from trending. But it's already too late. Let's talk Archewell, the shiny passion project, the empire of good intentions. Where is it now? Floating like a ghost ship in Hollywood's forgotten harbor. No Netflix money, no content pipeline, just vague statements and no receipts. Yawn. The glam branding? Still there. The partnerships? Crickets? The production arm that was going to rival Oprah's Harpo Studios? Gathering more dust than Meghan's forgotten podcast awards. Netflix was the oxygen. Without it, Archewell isn't just on life support. It's in a full nosedive. Meghan promised the world progress, change, inspiration. What she delivered? PR fluff and a portfolio of flops. It's not just over-promising, it's under-delivering on a global stage. And the biggest problem? Meghan's not facing tabloid gossip. She's battling boredom. Hollywood is bored of the Meghan Markle show. In 2020, she was the IT girl. Royal Rebel meets American Dream. Studios drooled. Brands chased. Now, she's a warning, not a wonder. Producers are ghosting her. Pitches land flat. Why? Because she's officially become the nightmare. High maintenance and low return. A casting director's worst combo. That's why she's spiraling. The sparkle's gone. And don't think they haven't noticed behind closed doors. The gossip is vicious. Executives saying she brings drama, sure, but not the kind that sells tickets, not the kind they want. She's a liability, one said. Ouch. And let's be honest, they're not wrong. This is a PR nosedive. Spotify dropped her, Netflix bounced. Hollywood's memory is short, but not that short. You flop twice, you're done. You're the cautionary tale whispered in boardrooms. Don't do a Markle. And oh, that Spotify deal. The one where she was supposed to be America's podcast queen? Girl, it was a disaster. After one sugar-drenched season of Archetypes, Spotify slammed the door. Hard. And behind the scenes? Brutal. One insider reportedly called the Sussexes grifters. That word stuck like gum on designer heels. Humiliating doesn't even begin to cover it. That wasn't just a gig. That was her grand audio stage. And it collapsed faster than a bad souffle. If Spotify's billion-dollar empire couldn't make Meghan work, who could? And now it's rinse and repeat. Netflix pulled the same move. Two titans, both done. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. And Meghan's golden touch turned to dust. And fast. Meghan being Meghan, she's not giving up. Not yet. Netflix dumped her? Fine. She's now knocking on Paramount's door. But let's be real. That's like going from the penthouse at the Ritz to begging for a bunk bed at a hostel. Insiders say her team is cold-calling studios, pitching shows, slashing prices, anything to stay in the game. And the desperation? It's loud. No big studio wants to touch a bruised brand with fading buzz. Even if she gets in, the price is steep. Her privacy, her persona, her pride. They'll want everything. That polished Meghan Markle myth? It won't cut it anymore. And while she scrambles, poor Harry's stuck in the middle. He ditched royalty for freedom and landed in a PR nightmare. His big Netflix legacy? A Polo doc and Invictus. That's it. $100 million? For that? Now the bills are piling up. The Montecito lifestyle's crumbling, and Meghan's pitching for scraps while Harry looks totally lost. Meanwhile, back in the palace, King Charles is playing nice. But William, he's done. No grace, no return. He wants the door shut for good, and Meghan knows if Harry crawls back to the royals, she's finished. He's the last card she's got. Without him, the influence, the power, the brand, gone. The Netflix breakup didn't just end a deal, it ended the illusion. Meghan's not the star anymore. She's the cautionary tale. And in Hollywood, once the spotlight's gone, it doesn't come back. It doesn't come back.